Hello, I'm Davia Chambers. Welcome to the 7th Heaven Villa at Pinehurst Drive, Mt Irvine. It's our location for today's episode of Let's Talk Tobago. Come along with us for a tour of this property in the next half hour. We'll also bring you all the major stories on what's been happening on the island. So stay with us for all the details, starting with this week's headlines. The nation marks 42 years as a republic, and we've got highlights of the celebrations in Tobago. A farmer in East Tobago is being applauded for an initiative that could help to boost food production. The island was recently hit by recycle mania, a competition with a difference, and later, one official shares some timely advice for World Tourism Day 2018. All this and more when Let's Talk Tobago returns. The 7th Heaven Villa is aptly named. It sits on an acre of landscaped gardens at Mt Irvine Golf Course. It's luxuriously furnished and overlooks the golf course, a magnificent view that stretches out into the Caribbean Sea. We move now from Mt Irvine to Roxborough, where Tobagonians recently celebrated this country's 42nd anniversary as a republic. Our cameras journeyed to Roxborough to capture the parade and scenes from the cultural extravaganza and fireworks event. Here are the highlights.
Residents and visitors in East Tobago lined the streets of Roxborough to enjoy the Republic Day parade. The Defence Force and youth organizations like the Cadets marched along the Windward Road. The procession started at Argyle and ended at the Sid Gray Stadium car park in Roxborough. The country became a republic on August 1, 1976. However, Republic Day is celebrated on September 24th because that's the date when the first Parliament met under the new Republican Constitution. The Constitution includes a basic set of human rights and freedoms, a cabinet system of government, and rules for parliamentary democracy and rule of law. During the evening's Republic Day cultural extravaganza, Culture Coordinator Glenda Rose Lane summed up what it means to be a republic.
Becoming a republic nation, however, gave us sovereign and supreme power as a country, empowering all citizens of this country with an entitlement of rights to vote and determine the course of our growth. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's theme comes to the forefront: the road from independence to republic, fostering national pride and forging national unity.
Secretary of Tourism, Culture and Transportation Nadine Stewart Phillips says Trinidad and Tobago should use the occasion to reflect on the progress this country has made in the past 4 decades.
Today, we take the opportunity to demonstrate our patriotism to our country and to rediscover what defines us as a people and as a nation. Despite our diverse background and differences, we come together, we unite and focus on what we have in common: a burning desire for a better future for ourselves and our children.
Performances came from cultural artists like the Bago House of Culture Stars. Panist Ryan McKellar, and the Roxborough folk performers.
I want you to know that I love you. Every creed and race has an equal place.
A fireworks display brought the curtains down on the Republic Day celebrations on the island. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
The large living area is tastefully decorated and looks out to the 7th hole of the golf course. The open plan is designed to maximize on the valley breeze flowing through the property. Now, protecting the island's children must be a priority. That's why two key organizations are joining forces to make the fight against child abuse more effective. Here's more in this report.
For the second time in many weeks, a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, was signed to boost health and wellness in Tobago. This time, the Division of Health, Wellness and Family Development, in collaboration with the Family Planning Association of Trinidad and Tobago. This partnership is to establish a sexual and reproductive health program on the island. It's aimed at also protecting the health and sexual rights of Tobago men, women, and young people.
We understand the importance of this partnership, a partnership with a very strong partner, one that has been providing services for over 6 decades. The intention of this is that no one should be left behind. And in our division, we recognize that no one would be left behind, whether it be children, women, adolescent girls, men, adolescent boys, the differently abled, or the elderly, or any person in our population for that matter.
This partnership is also helping the Family Planning Association to reach people in every community.
The Family Planning Association of Trinidad and Tobago provides a wide range of sexual and reproductive health services to communities through its community outreach program. It reaches over 50 low-income communities and underscores our commitment to equitable access to critical sexual and reproductive health services for all the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
The association hosts several reproductive health promotions and services to prevent irresponsible sexual behavior. It's also creating awareness about the impact of sexual transmitted infections, unwanted pregnancies, and unsafe abortions. This allows more to be done with the health sector to the benefit of Tobago's residents.
We want to ensure that this partner allows for members of our population to become much more empowered, such that they can protect themselves from STIs when they decide to have children, access to services that can assist them to have a safe delivery and a healthy baby.
The MOU established an artwork framework for the coordinating operations of the Family Planning Association, the Health Division, and the Tobago Regional Health Authority. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
Seventh Heaven is perfect for large groups. There are 7 ensuite bedrooms, including 3 on the ground floor with views of the landscaped garden. It also includes a self-contained bedroom and bathroom with kitchenette in the pool house. So following a consultation on the draft National Policy for Culture and the Arts, Tobagonians had yet another chance to contribute to the legislation. The island recently held a workshop for stakeholders to give their input. More in this story.
Trinidad and Tobago will soon join Caribbean neighbors Jamaica, Barbados and St. Lucia in having a national policy for the arts and culture. The draft policy has been developed because there's a need to protect this nature's cultural heritage. It's also important to maximize the potential of the cultural industry. The draft policy was approved by Cabinet in 2018 as a working document for consultations. It's a framework that envisions culture at the center of national development. The policy has 3 focal areas for action: visual and the performing arts, heritage, memory and legacy, and the cultural industries.
First of all, the issue of cultural confidence, which is really at the core of the policy and which really affects every facet of life, you know, from our individual work in the cultural sector, individual cultural entrepreneurs, to the management of our institutions, to the governance of our country. It affects every area of our life. And we feel that that has to be addressed.
Additionally, the draft policy will address the need for a strengthened sense of national identity. It's also aimed at creating an enabling environment and a consistent framework to help entrepreneurs reach their full potential. The draft policy is informed by 5 guiding principles: participation, sustainability, diversity, accountability, and nurturing. Tobagonians give their views and recommendations on the draft policy.
We found lack of training opportunities were missing. lack of theatre spaces, lack of equipment for film.
We think that if it is that you did not really study theatre arts from secondary school level, then if somebody who just willingly just want to participate in theatre, we don't think that there's enough training for somebody to say that, okay, they just want to get involved in it.
If you have a course, the training after you get your certificate for the course, nobody does a follow-up for the courses after. Nobody put things in place to see how the students did after the course, what went on, if they started a business from the course.
We noted that there's a Tobago Arts collection that must be included and highlighted that the THA spent $1.2 million on. So that is something that persons, when they come to Tobago, that they should know about and must be included in the cultural space.
At the end of the consultations, a team from the ministry will prepare a revised framework to be submitted to Cabinet for approval. Following this, the team will develop specific directional plans for the 3 subsectors. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
A unique approach to farming is expected to give food production in Tobago a boost. We'll tell you more about it right after the break. Stay with us. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back.
Tobago. The Tobago Day Awards 2018 is here. You can nominate an individual or organization that has provided outstanding service to Tobago, its growth and development in any field or sphere. For more information, you can contact the Office of the Chief Secretary at the Calder Hall Administrative Complex. Check our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page or visit our website at www.tha.gov.tt and download a Tobago Day Awards nomination form. Nominations close on Friday, 26th October at 4 p.m. It's the Tobago Day Awards 2018. Be a part of it.
A polished teak staircase leads to the other 3 ensuite bedrooms, all of which open onto the veranda. Now, it's a stunning vantage point to help you enjoy every day of your stay right here at 7th Heaven Villa. Now this, farming is not an easy job. Aside from planting and reaping, crops can be affected by harsh weather, pests, and other serious challenges. So one farmer turned to innovation and a method that has the potential to boost food production across Tobago. Take a look at this story.
3,000 tomato plants are being cultivated in this shade house. It's a semi-extensive farming method being used by Sean Baldio and his family. Sean began cultivating plants like tomatoes and pimentos in a shade house due to the challenges he's faced with open field farming. Construction of this shade house started in March and took 3 months. Mr. Baldio says the design creates a more controlled environment for the plants. This means greater yields and greater income.
With the rain not going on the plants, it eliminates about half or more of the pest and disease that will come upon your plants. So having the shade house is necessary in that aspect. It also facilitates us in the life of the plant, the lengther harvest period. Right? On the outer field, you might get about 4 months for the most. But in a shade house, you could get roughly 8 months to a year harvesting, and that is a plus. And other to that now, it is helping us to sustain our production.
As president of the Goldsboro Farmers Association, Mr. Baldio thinks that this method of farming will meet the food demands on the island for local customers as well as for the tourism industry.
Going this way, I know for sure that there is a possibility that we will be able to fulfill our demands here in Tobago, and by extension, those people that will be coming in, right? So we'll going this way, we will have food for ourselves, to feed ourselves, and we will have food to feed the visitors.
Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles and President of the Tobago Agricultural Society, Mitchison Neptune, visited Mr. Baldio's farm to check on its progress. They are in high praise for the direction he's taken in his farming career.
I am particularly pleased to be here this morning, seeing the extent of the work that they are doing and the fact that they are involved in increasing the production, agricultural production generally on the island of Tobago.
It's very impressive, very, very impressive. The first time I saw a picture of the shade house, and I was very impressed with it.
In the near future, Mr. Baldio intends to construct another shade house to grow flavor peppers. He expects that this method will reduce some of the difficulties faced by farmers, increase profits, and help improve the food supply for the population. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Seventh Heaven has a well-equipped kitchen with granite countertops and cypress wood cabinetry. Now all kitchen appliances are stainless steel, and if you're in the mood for some barbecue, you can fire up the gas grill and have a lime outdoors. Now, speaking of outdoors, the Tobago House of Assembly's Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment has been creating awareness of the importance of protecting our natural surroundings. Recently, staff members of every unit joined in the fun for a very good cause. Have a look.
When it's not properly disposed of, waste materials can damage our environment. This makes recycling very important. As part of its ongoing efforts to create environmental awareness and sensitivity across the island, the Department of the Environment hosted Recycle Mania. All 9 units within the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and the Environment participated in the competition. They used recyclable materials to create artistic designs with a purpose, hoping to sway the judges in their favor.
It's finally here. We have seen your diligence. We have seen, as I mentioned before, all the energy, effort, time, and the value that you put into these bins that were created. This whole exercise from the Department of Environment side was one where we saw a lot of value in coming under the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries, and the Environment.
The competition began in June. The units decided to implement a waste management system for recycling plastic bottles. Each unit collected plastic bottles and other materials to create a design that made recycling enjoyable.
We decided to create a character to give that human touch and created a bin called Butterbob. The bin was eventually made out of a cartoon box, bottles, recycled paper, old magazines, and buttercork.
The mechanical workshop unit lived up to their abilities, creating an imaginative display that earned them the win.
I just want to welcome ladies and gentlemen to Bottleland, where we collect and use our innovation to handle it.
Together, the units collected over 6,000 pounds of plastic bottles that will be recycled by BK Holdings Trinidad. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
The Seventh Heaven Villa has a large rectangular saltwater pool with a very spacious deck. The ideal place to relax with a cocktail and good friends, lounge with your favorite book, or take a refreshing swim to beat the heat. We hit the road now to Roxborough in East Tobago, which hosted the latest installment of the Road Market Experience. In this next story, Crystal George tells us how it all turned out. Have a look.
In Roxborough, Republic Day weekend began 2 days early with the Tobago Road Market Experience. Entrepreneurs and patrons all came together at Sid Gray's Sporting Complex for the 4th installment of the event of 2018. The artisans showed their local crafts, arts, and food. It's an innovative platform to bring exposure to Tobago's entrepreneurs and show the public what's available on the island.
The Tobago Road Market Experience creates an opportunity to further empower all of our citizens to utilize their varying skills, passions, and their innate talents towards the generation of individual wealth. By showcasing, as we are doing here this evening, what is uniquely Tobago.
There are plans to expand the program, and business owners are being urged to make the most of upcoming opportunities.
I want to say to all of you this evening that exciting times are ahead, because particularly to you, the entrepreneurs, the Tobago House of Assembly, through the Division of Community Development, is already making plans to take Tobago to Trinidad. This is a tremendous opportunity. It has never happened like this before, and we are saying, come on board. As a matter of fact, I would have indicated to some of the vendors/entrepreneurs that if you are not yet registered as a business with the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor, do so as early as tomorrow.
Farmer Nicholas Nareen says he's on board with the road market experience.
Like these events like that, we keep it today. If more people know, more farmers know about it, you know, the sales gonna get there. So more events like this will promote it.
It was the fourth installation of the road market experience hosted by the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time for yet another break, but coming up next, Tobago gets some food for thought as the globe observes World Tourism Day. Don't go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. It's now time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, the viewers. Let's take a look at who had their say this week.
Alright, so we're here with Miss Jordan right now. So we're here with Bruce right now. So we're here with Brent right now. We're asking Mr. Philip. We're asking Bruce Winchester. I can't talk with that. Tell you that. You have to put that on camera, man.
Hey, it's Have Your Say time once again. We're here through the streets of Scarborough and we're finding out how do folks feel about Tobago moving towards recycling more. This is what they had to say.
Yeah, I believe that we could do more. There's always room for improvement. So I wouldn't disagree with that. We could do more.
Definitely. Of course. Tobago is supposed to do more. Not doing enough at all.
Much more. Recycling is now a global phenomenon. It has been introduced in the developed countries for quite some time now, and it has tremendous impact on global warming and other environmental phenomena.
Worldwide right now, there's an option to recycle. And if it is internationally worldwide, then Tobago should run for it also.
Tobago should do a lot more recycling, like take care more papers, the bottles, all in plastics. You know, you should clean up all that kind of thing for the environment, so it could be a real clean environment, natural.
I observe there are some bins around, but people putting all kinds of things in the bins. So I don't think we put any emphasis on recycling.
People won't do nothing. They don't take up empty bottles on the road, they don't do nothing. You meet plastic back all about plastic thing all about the place. They do nothing. Waiting in the state. And to me, the greatest work in the world is to employ yourself.
Recycling, yes, I think so. And just generally, some youths was doing some bottle picking up on the beaches somewhere. I think it's Black Rock somewhere around there. Yeah, man, we could do a lot. Could do a lot with, yeah, so some recycling to be able to shoot.
Nobody's taking recycling seriously. A lot more could be done.
Yeah, I think it's important to the country, especially with regards to drainage and, you know, and it also have a amount of profit in it that we see in Trinidad and we don't see in Tobago. You understand? So it's important that we really do something before it's too late.
We can start with the schools, and when we do that, you find that the kids can educate their parents, and then you create a mass awareness among the population and different communities at large. So I think that that program should start beginning with the schools. We can have a cleaner, greener, and more environmentally friendly Tobago.
Here at 7th Heaven Villa, housekeeping is provided by Caribbean Estate Land and Villas 6 days per week. This means you'll only have to worry about your next adventure and making great vacation memories during your stay in Tobago. In our final story, the Secretary of Tourism, Culture and Transportation addresses Tobago for World Tourism Day, and she shares some timely ideas as the island seeks to beef up the sector. Here's more.
On behalf of the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, Tobago House of Assembly, I extend greetings as we join the rest of the world in commemorating World Tourism Day 2018. Today, the United Nations World Tourism Organization invites people of all ages and backgrounds in the international community to take a moment to appreciate the importance of tourism and its social, cultural, and economic value. The theme of this year's World Tourism Day, Tourism and the Digital Transformation, is a timely reminder of the creativity, technology, and innovation needed to drive our island and indeed our country into a bright and successful future with tourism at the core. Tobago is one of the most versatile islands in the Caribbean. We are blessed with a unique gem that is home to rich historical and heritage attractions, a strong cultural product, as well as charming ecological sites that have made tourism the backbone of our island's economy. Tourism plays a pivotal role in advancing cultural understanding and bringing people together. As such, the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation remains committed to our mandate to position Tobago as an ideal tourism destination through sustainable product development and strategic marketing. Our tourism industry will remain an important driving force of our domestic economic growth if we assiduously address challenges in an innovative, practical, and direct way. The Division of Tourism, Culture, and Transportation has recently revamped our efforts to engage stakeholders in productive collaboration with our Community Tourism Awareness Campaign. We have also tapped into the bright young minds of our youngest stakeholders with the establishment of tourism youth clubs in secondary schools across the island, as we seek to encourage civil responsibility, participation, and innovative problem solving from a very young age. Digital technologies have introduced positive momentum to societies and economies around the world. This has resulted in a tourism product that is more attractive, efficient, economically, socially, and environmentally sustainable than ever before. These exponential technological changes provide new opportunities for industry growth, but also mean that the local tourism sector must innovate and stakeholders must consistently collaborate in order to remain competitive. We must work together, hand in hand, to examine and utilize new methods, new technologies, and new ways of thinking to upgrade and enhance our island's tourism product in order to continue to be relevant and competitive on a global scale. On this World Tourism Day 2018, I again invite all citizens to come on board, join with us, and stay with us for the long term, as together we work to ensure confidence in our future and the financial security of our island, our people, and our country. Happy World Tourism Day 2018.
We close yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For more information on this property, you can contact Caribbean Estates Land and Villas at 639-5263 or visit their website at www.realestatetobago.com. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week. We leave you with a montage of the Republic Day celebrations and activities in Roxborough. We do hope you enjoy.